Hey guys, Von Fry here. So tonight, actually, I'm recording this right before Netflix yanks it. I'm so used to talking about YouTube yanking stuff, but this is Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery from 1997, starring Mike Myers, Elizabeth Hurley, and probably some other people. If you would like to queue up this commentary track for your viewing of the film, well, tough luck. Maybe it's going to be on Hulu or HBO Max or someplace else. But for now, I'm going to 0000 and hitting play. Now, this is a movie that rated PG-13 for a lot of reasons. I did not see in theaters. I saw 2 and 3 in theaters. But it kind of caught on after the fact. This was a cult hit. It was released in theaters. It was nearly a B movie, but it's the brainchild of Mike Myers after he left Saturday Night Live. He did a few movies. He did some Wayne's World, a couple of those, How I Married an Axe Murderer. But he also started a band called Mean Tea, and it was this done up 60s London mod style. And he did this with, oh my god, why am I forgetting her name? The lead singer of the Bangles. Oh, Christ. Now I'm going to hit myself. So he did the band with her, and she kind of played guitar and stuff, but the thing is, her husband, Jay Roach, then thought, hey, why don't we try to make a movie around this character? And they embellished the Austin Powers persona that Will had made it to front the band, and it turned him into like this 60s fashion guy, akin to Blow Up, and also very much a spoof of the spy genre of the time, which already was getting spoofed. There was movies like Our Man Flint, a whole lot of callbacks and references to those kind of things. Done so in a way that it may not be directly mocking it so much because he's too goofy to be making fun of the spy genre. But you kind of just look at him like, huh, why are all the girls into this weirdo? But the thing I am kind of confused about, cracking open Dr. Pepper, Michael York, Logan's Run. Been trying to watch that on Netflix. It's supposedly there, but not available in your country. This first movie, fairly ambitious production on a smaller budget, and it has a almost indie slash retro vibe, very authentically so, because without a whole ton of computer help, you can make a movie that looks like it's 60s. Now you have to go to more trouble. You have to go to more lengths to make a movie that looks like it's in the past. The bright Technicolor James Napier, or Charles Napier, he's no longer with us. Let's see, is that an... if that's an Aston Martin, I don't think that was around in 67 when this took place. This musical intro is going to get played up bigger with each installment. So, yeah, this is what budget big musical looks like over here. You have to have actual dancing. That car also not available in 67. That because that's like a Series 2 Jaguar XKE. You could tell because it doesn't have the covered headlights. I don't like those so much. The Series 1 is the way to go. That's got a V12, though. I'll give it that. Mimi Rogers, the first ex-Tom Cruise, ex-Mrs. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise would be playing the role of Austin Powers in the third film, Austin Powers Goldmember, which I don't think I'm going to be able to get to unless these end up streaming immediately on another platform that I have access. That'd be not HBO Max. Michael York, I think he has shorter hair in the present. Isn't that the idea? So Mimi Rogers is the. Yeah, I have not seen this movie in high definition. You can tell the Bob's Big Boy looks a bit superimposed there. Look, we got like a trick matte shot right there, like something out of Citizen Kane's statue. Electric Psychedelic Pussycats. We're going to be hearing Strawberry Alarm Clock in the club. And the visuals in the club also very much in the... Look at that, produced Demi Moore. A big reason why this was able to get to theaters, actually. Yeah, we got the black cat suit on, and it's my happening baby, and it freaks me out. Yeah, man. And a little win, but nothing to lose. Yep. I don't think that this subculture really caught on in the U.S., let alone lasted for a period of time. They had things they did, like putting a whole ton of lights and mirrors on little motorcycles, and I don't think we're going to be seeing one of their little motos, but like he punched her out and then becomes a man, and it's quite an apparent different guy, but there's a mustache. Yeah, we really got to pull the wig off to see. Not the most trained in judo, but we'll be hearing judo chop as one of Austin's moves. Heard about this movie well after the fact in a home ec class. A kid was, I took home ec class, deal with that. I was in middle school. Kid was talking about this crazy movie, Austin Powers, and it was going on about all this stuff happening in it. I'm like, what are you? That's in the movie? No, you guys are kidding me, right? And he's like, yeah, he's got this cat, Mr. Bigglesworth, and his name's Dr. Evil. And I'm like, wow, that's a really descriptive name right there. But that's what you got, you know? Shoot away. Austin Powers blinks when he shoots, by the way. Yeah, the effects will get more realistic with future installments. I don't think that looks too bad, really. I think there's some footage there on the side from Apollo 13. Bob's Big Boy in space. Man, I could see that looking more fake today in places. If this was straight to Netflix, yeah. And just everything in this movie's a joke. It's so hard to categorize how spoofs work. This isn't Airplane. There's a more absurdity to a film like that. The Zucker production stuff. Charles Napier, no longer with us. Ron Howard's odd-looking brother on the left. In many ways, Big Boy never left. Offering the same high-quality meals at competitive prices. I've never seen a Bob's Big Boy. Perks of living in Kansas. It's over in Nevada. It's gone. The Big Boy's gone. Man, I like the way that wipe, that transition. Yeah, granted, this part's in 1997, but it has a throwback quality to it. Feed my fish, but not too much. And he just has to scoop this fish out. Yeah, every scene, to pull this brand of comedy off, every scene has to have some kind of joke. I think there are times where the franchise gets too caught up in the sex jokes. So this one, not so much. I think The Spy Who Shagged Me goes too far at times. It just harps on it too much. All right, we'll be seeing the Frozen celebrities. Now, did they actually get Vanilla Ice to pose for this, or is that a look-alike? That's what I'm wondering. That's kind of the way things were back in the day. Celebrities dipped out. Now we have social media to prop them up. Oh, hey, we can't get rid of Justin Bieber. He's so big on social media, he'll always be with us. A guy who would have been a one-hit wonder gets to stay forever. I recognize the Russian colonel guy briefly. I can't place his name. just did a commentary on Demolition Man. You can see the stoic way that Stallone gets frozen and the maybe all too realistic way of Austin Powers that may not have left his glasses on him. Reanimation beginning. Rising Up. You think maybe they could have used some of the same machinery between those two movies? Getting them back in order here. This scene is done in a gag based on the first James Bond theatrical film, Dr. No, where there's a big insistence of cleaning Bond and, was it Honey Rider, as they entered Dr. No's island facility. Nope, oh, he's getting turned around. There we go. Evacuation beginning. Yeah, sophomoric toilet humor. It gets some laughs out of the youths. I'm sure that in home ec class somebody was talking about how this guy would just not stop peeing. He's got some 30 years built up in there. You can very much see the film grain dancing around here. I do watch these with the subtitles on. Urination continues, or urination resumes. Trickling. I've never given that little kick with the foot to pull this off. Sorry, I'm having trouble controlling the volume of my voice. I like that gag. Some very pasted on chest hair. That's done as having some fun with Sean Connery. Shouting is a temporary side effect of the unfreezing process. Let me tell you, John Spartan had like no side effects from the unfreezing process. The Cold War is over. Have not seen this movie in HD, have not seen it in a long time, but boy have I seen this movie a lot. We had this on VHS. I have the Austin Powers trilogy on DVD. Dr. Evil. They keep talking about there being a fourth one in the works. It's like Mike Myers gotta do something, right? I mean, he made so much money off of these movies. It was unbelievable. He might have made $70 million on the third one alone. Like, there was money coming to people. Oh, geez. Elizabeth Hurley at the height of her powers. Whoa. This is Ms. Kensington. Mrs. Kensington's her mother he used to hang out with. She behaves a bit different. All right, let me tell you another thing. The glasses are working for her. How do I tell her to do it on film? I have no inner monologue. Didn't just say that out loud now. Yeah. Oh, some heinous teeth on Austin Powers there. I don't think Elizabeth Hurley was that well known to American audiences at the time of this. I think she was known for, if I recall correctly, Hugh... what's it? Not Hugh Hefner. Hugh... There's a British guy named Hugh, and he's an actor. And he cheated on her with a prostitute, I believe. And Jay Leno was like, "What were you thinking?" And it got like a big laugh. And it's considered one of the moments that made Jay Leno the host. It solidified him as, all right, he's the host of the late night of the Tonight Show and all this. Like he's the guy now. Frilly lace cravat, and we're going to get on with the Swedish-made pump here. Really harking on it a little too much. I don't know why he couldn't have kept some of this stuff elsewhere. I mean, he does have an apartment, a pad. Mike Myers is very much into his characters. He can be a little tricky to spot. A couple years ago, they resurrected the Gong Show. It was somewhat Will Arnett involved in that, and they had a fictional host. I don't believe it's returning. It was on for, I think, a couple seasons, and this fictional host had this backstory. He's supposed to be a beloved English host that no one knew about, and it was Mike Myers in costume. And boy, did ABC stick to that illusion. At nowhere was it recognized that Mike Myers. I mean, it'd actually say who plays the host, and it is that guy. I think people would have tuned in if they knew it was Mike Myers. If the marketing was set that way, but sometimes if you want to really sell a gag, you got to ride or die with it. My jumbo jet. You know what? Planes wouldn't have changed all that much from the 60s to the mid-ish 90s. All right, lads, let's go. Here we go. There's Ming T. And, oh man, you get some flashes there of... I am not looking it up. I'm going to try to remember. Oh, let's see. Close your eyes, give me your hand. Walk like an Egyptian, boom, 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 boom. Like hops in the donut shop, they sing and dance. Oh, yeah. Goodness sake. Will Ferrell, we saw him briefly earlier when they introduced Dr. Evil. We still haven't seen Dr. Evil's face. This is a James Bond Blofeld gag. He's very much comedic Blofeld. Mustafa had caused a problem with the unfreezing process, and he's been punished. The classical James Bond villain, supervillain, would have some way of getting rid of his insolent henchman, right? Yeah, see, he's got the scar, he's got the Hillary Clinton jumpsuit. I like this gag because it builds upon what it's like to have been sent down to your doom if you were a Bond villain. Yeah, open the retrieval hatch, right? Big red phone. He's got buttons. There's no touchscreen in sight. All right, let's just listen for the gunshot. Yeah, there we go. Just stroke the cat, and you shot me. Okay, move along. You shot me in the arm. Why did... The cat has paused as well. I am just noticing that for the first time. Beautiful. Back onto business. Okay, now random task here. Okay, let's first talk about Mindy Sterling. I love that. Founder of the militant wing of the Salvation Army. Mindy Sterling was an instructor at the Groundlings. This guy, random task. The less said about him, the better. That actor currently in life, he's serving a term of life in prison, I think, for rape and first-degree murder. This guy I don't know a whole lot about. Patty O'Brien. Yeah, they're always after me, Lucky Charms. And then they have a little laugh. Now, was the Lucky Charms phrase a thing in the 60s for Dr. Evil to be aware of? Because he laughs along. And people would do that. I could do a bit of a Dr. Evil voice. You get the pinky in the mouth and all that, right? Man, I have not cracked out a Dr. Evil voice in so long. I'm a little concerned it won't live up. And then watch this cutaway here. We're gonna cut back to him, and then back to Mindy Sterling. Totally, yeah, just dead, straight mouth, good stuff. I've actually have seen edits like that in places. On long story, but anyway, Wagner here. He may actually be another murderer. He's wife Natalie Wood just gets drowns on his boat. A lot of crazy circumstances surrounding that, huh? In the time that Dr. Evil has been away, this guy has been running the business. He's uh, he's building the factories, then it gets to be Starbucks, and he kind of gets them in to whatever the big thing's going to be of the time that the movie comes out. They're going to say he was there. The chair slides away. There's a lot of good stuff. Standard operation, yeah. Fortunately, Dr. Evil's really not that necessary because the company's doing pretty well without him with legitimate business. Robert Wagner there had a lot of issues with the eye patch, and they perforated. They've got some holes in there. I think there are some ways to make a trick eye patch that one could see through with a mesh. You can see his eye behind it there in some of the shots. Not something you'd pick up so much on DVD and VHS. Oh, yeah, we're going on about the ozone layer. Well, the ozone layer does have a hole. It turned out it's not that big of a problem. In fact, most people don't even remember it being a problem. Kids these days, they know about we have to be green for the environment. We only have 5 years left. They don't know about the ozone layer. It looks to me like they have extended the ears, the earlobes on the Dr. Evil costume. The makeup for that, for Mike Myers, make him seemingly appear a great deal older than Austin Powers in many ways. You know, them old men, they always got the saggy earlobes. $1 million ain't gonna cut it. $1 million ain't gonna cut it in 1967. VirtueCon, that's the name of it. I was thinking it was something with a globe. And he looks around for approval. 100 billion, is that it? Okay. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. His jumbo jet, I would think that looks like a newer model than he last had. But the planes can be deceptive. I mean, F-14 looks pretty contemporary for a long time. All right, Elizabeth Hurley is going right up at the top of the hot in glasses list. She's grinning a little bit, slightly charmed by his ways. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm not really going to listen. This is a fish out of water premise here. Austin has to adapt. He finds that he's a joke in some ways. He has to. He's this womanizer thrust into a situation where he has to respect women more. Very much a contemporary storyline, right? Show you something. Makes me think about Tony Stark's plane in the first Iron Man. Right? If only he had the stewardess come out there and start dancing with him. That a TV set there he's got on that bed? That white globe? I reckon it is. Hits the red button and things are spinning. You are not falling asleep on that bed at that pace. In fact, I never really thought of spinning as a selling point for mattress tech. And now here's the part where she says she will never sleep with him, even if he's the last man on Earth. And the future race depended on it. Which makes you think they're gonna hook up. Because you know, as they say, so you're saying there's a chance. And he still keeps his antics up in the background. She looks on with disgust, but kinda laughs. We're going to be introduced here to Seth Green. I was familiar with him prior to this because of Airborne, probably the best movie about downhill inline skating from 1993. She has to yell everything. Here comes Scott Evil. And he is one 90s looking dude. Oh, he's even got the Nirvana shirt. Well, Kurt Cobain, anyhow. He looks like... I would think that the lead singer of Lit stole his look. You probably think of Seth Green, voice of the dumb son on Family Guy, Robot Chicken. Can't Hardly Wait. Didn't he have goggles? Like an atrocious get-up. Come on. I'm over here. Oh, yeah. He's going to bring up Jiggy. The Macarena, which, oh boy. The Macarena went stale quick. And to think that his Dr. Evil's costume would still be in with times if Hillary Clinton were president. We are now in Vegas, and boy, it looks absolutely nothing like that now. I was in Vegas in 1999 for New Year's Eve. Y2K, that whole thing. And it was already changing a bit here, but in some ways you can still see some of the old Vegas that Austin Powers could be familiar with. You can't now. It won't nothing like that. Landscape changes. You're sleeping on the sofa. Really, you couldn't get him a bed somewhere? You couldn't get you have this massive suite and there's not 2 bedrooms. He will not give it a rest. How's your father? Ugh. What does she have packed? Oh, nerd alert. Okay, he said nerd alert, and the subtitle said nude alert. And there is a chrome-plated 357 looking Desert Eagle, I believe, like one would find in Last Action Hero. Classic looking casino floor. Around 97, lots of Vegas action in movies. There's Vegas Vacation, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Casino was in 95. I think that might have spurred some interest in Las Vegas movies. I can't remember how to pronounce her name, but the actress, but we'll be hearing her character's name here soon. Tell you this, when they play this on broadcast television, her name would be changed from Alada Fudgina to Alada Clavaji. I like to live life dangerously. He can x-ray the cards, see what's coming next. There is no way on earth he has any kind of capacity to read a card when there are other cards on top, to fine tune that level. How is he going to control that with his eye? But it's a comedy, so it kind of subverts that kind of scrutiny, right? I too like to live life dangerously. Hit, fold, stay, cards are not my bag, baby. Introduce, I messed up myself. Yeah. This is my wife, Oprah. She looks confused. That's a great, genuine reaction. She was in summer school, remember, with the NCIS guy? But I can't remember the actress's name. It's like Udino Fabina, something like that. Yeah, it'll be a lot of Clavaji when I seen this on Fox. Probably, I don't know, early 2000s. I'd seen on there, and I thought, hey, they changed it. I'm gonna go, I don't know, do what to him in the bathroom, but something. I don't like the idea of the bathroom attendant. I kind of think, ideally, you don't want ears in the bathroom. Eyes or ears, or a nose. You don't isolate everything. That's the way to go. Some baby powder for no reason and just a ton of it. Tom Arnold dropping by. This is a really good cameo for him. Yeah, but yours is pretty crazy looking too, in a way. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't ever really see authentic restroom use in a movie, and this will not be one of those exceptions. Dun dun dun. Oh, really? You knew he was going to go to the restroom? Why is there a cutout door? I mean, like, this is one of the best gags in the film, but it's done in a way like, oh, the James Bond henchman, it happens to know where James Bond's going to be. I mean, the level of prediction and everything for this to pull out. Meanwhile, you have the bystander, Tom Arnold. Who does number two work for? Because they set it up well. Number two, Robert Wagner's character, it's all he goes by, number two. And he's like, oh, jeez. Grab, bite lip, give it hell. You're going to blow an O-ring? Isn't that what he says? Oh, here comes the flush. Surely you'd see this guy's hands. I mean, you could see his feet earlier if you were looking. Like how he died. His dying, the representation of it is the Lucky Charms falling out of his hand. It's awesome. There's Ming T again. You don't really get a lot of shots of bangles on. It's Nope, I still can't remember her name. I will by the time this movie's over. Ah, yes, the United Nations meets in a totally black room with a suspended television. And everybody's in costume. That's totally accurate. Costume representing their country. $1 million. Oh, wait, that's not what we discussed. You got Gorbachev there. I think Boris Yeltsin was in charge of Russia at this point. My gosh, the costumes in that room. Didn't spend all the time in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, well, he's more Blofeld than Doctor No, but there is a bit of Doctor No to Doctor Evil. Now we have to have the henchmen laugh, and you never know when to cut off the henchman laugh or the evil laugh, right? With the crew. But the boss keeps laughing, you got to keep going, right? Uh huh. Yeah. Whew. All right, everybody disperse. Come on. Mrs. Kensington not looking too bad. 30 years later, I mean, come on. Let's say she's 60, okay? I mean, that's pretty good 60 there. Well, just doing a bit of a gag here with Austin Powers' conveniently censored nakedness stuff going on. They'll be doing this some in the movies. Whoop. Oh no, in high definition, you can see that magnifying glass. He's got like a big black patch over him. How much effort do you think they put into working out this routine, syncing things up? Oh, sausage bite. VirtueCon. CGI'd up. Doesn't look too bad. Huge, obvious, not so spy camera. I never forget a pussy. Cat. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, you look smashing. I'm not trying to do the impression. We can see he's got the XKE back there. You took that to America? Put that on the jumbo jet? I mean, hell, I'm bringing it up, but we saw him roll into Vegas with it, so I guess you'd have to have some way to get that on the plane to take it off, right? If he's gonna, I mean, it's not entirely unfeasible, but I think Burt Bacharach is in each of the three films, and still with us today, if I'm not mistaken. See, Elizabeth Hurley had too much eyebrow for a period of time, and here she hit the sweet spot. Look at that London style tour bus right there, huh? Double decker. I can't recall if I saw buses like that in Vegas. I saw Hummer limos. The montage here, very much in the 60s spirit. Oh, he's got on the cards. It looks cool. Oh, what are they doing? And it's Twister. Oh, no. No. After this movie, Elizabeth Hurley gets a few more little comedy roles here and there, but I don't think she ever gets a hit this big again. And also, from my understanding of it, Mike Myers actually does this gag. He can actually do the modes of transportation, the escalator, the canoe, and the elevator without any kind of help behind the scene. He got her drunk, the key to every woman's heart. And chocolate. That's you in a nutshell. No, this is me in a nutshell. Oh, just keep being goofy. It's working. Look at that. Is that an Acer computer, huh? Big O laptops of the day. Firing up Windows 98, maybe? Was that available in 97? Maybe not. Maybe it was Windows 95. Or was it a Windows... Was there a CE? I'm trying to think. So that's why Mommy found you so charming. He talks about Mrs. Kensington here, but they never really get catharsis with him reuniting with Mrs. Kensington. But unfortunately, you got her asleep, dude. What are you doing? You knocked her asleep with your story. I could see this going for more of a gross out angle in a slightly more contemporary setting of this movie. But he does a more honorable thing. Oh no, you're smashed. We're not hooking up, right? America Online, guys. That was the way a lot of people were getting on the internet. You didn't have super smooth video conferencing, webcam at the time, low resolution. In fact, I'm not so sure if I saw a camera on that laptop's door, so. Breaking in. What do they call that style of door right there? I mean, it's not the most weatherproof thing, right? Insulation's got to be weak. You'd have that for an interior, more likely. Even if you were going for some kind of Asian vibe with the architecture. Tiny little camera. Project Vulcan. This one's interesting. Oh yeah. Give it to me. He's got the fashion photographer sounds going. It's not really until the very end of this movie that you see him behave like a fashion photographer, and it raises the question: do people know him as a super spy, or were people dancing with him and doing these other things because they thought he was a famous fashion photographer, and that's his cover for the spying? It's never really made clear. You can see how he's framed over between her arm and like that. It's somewhat related to the the graduate shot that you'd see in like they even used in the poster under the legs of Mrs. Robinson. But I'm gonna play some '60s music there. Dusty Springfield, right? Oh boy. Austin won't be able to control himself. You don't want to see him take his clothes off. It's a hairy disaster. And it comically so. Mike Myers keeps himself not in the greatest of shape. Yeah, he's doing this for the spying. Yeah, does that chest hair make you puke yet? I think there might be a little more Alada on screen at the top there above the waterline than permissible in a PG 13 or on a television broadcast. I think they crop her tighter. He just so happened to keep his shirt over here. You can reach that. Actual name Austin Powers, not Cunningham. Oh, come on. He could have possibly known about Saki. I mean, I guess it's assumed he does. Sock it to me, referenced Laugh In. And he does this leg twitch jerk type thing, like a dog being getting scratched. Not a bad line in the segment. Sorry, didn't know it was your turn to break the wind, right? You know, you lay a line out like that, then you move on. You try to forget the get the moment lost, right? You don't want to keep harking back to it. You don't bring up another joke. I'm just giving the pointers out there to you guys. Silly, hairy little man. Oh, yeah, that's the spot. Yep. These goofy monkeys like transitions. I like it. They retain that throughout the movies. Bring in the fembots. More '60s music. Interesting. I think one of these is Cindy Margolis, though I couldn't tell you which one. She was her whole thing was the most photographed woman. I think she's on the far right. The most photographed woman on the internet, or something. That used to be a thing that, or the most searched picture online, the most shared one. I know at one point it was like Jennifer Lopez's green dress from like the Grammys. Kill these women. And they're being seduced. We're not going to shoot them just yet. They haven't done anything. Uh-oh. Cover your eyes, Mr. Bigglesworth. That would not be a comfortable get up, especially with those eyelets. Or what, rivets or something? Yeah. I'm making a joke now. I have to explain the caliber, of course, the size of their gun barrels, and their personality. Yeah, or the quality of their character, right? Mr. Bigglesworth will be getting the short end of the stick in future installments, outright replaced as far as joke quality goes with Mini-Me. But you already knew that. Why show some? We're going to outfit you with this. Oh, goody. Geosynchronous positioning device. Yeah, that's we have those now. And this is about hygiene. Since you've been frozen, there's been fabulous advances in the field of dentistry. She has great teeth for an English babe. Yes, meeting up with Basil here. Basil exposition. That is what he does. He gives the exposition. Nuclear war and carnies. I say small hands smell like cabbage. Austin, more of that could have been done with that. Maybe had they have the flashback younger Austin Powers in the Goldmember movie, and maybe he could have had a circumstance with carnies. Did some reconnaissance last night. Yeah, went to her out. Maybe don't need to tell Vanessa this. Disguise ourselves as tourists. Oh, you're gonna look like you don't belong, but not disguised as tourists. Uh-oh. This is what happens when you introduce somebody to Austin Powers. Punch. It's a man, except it isn't. Does his mom need to be there? Like, was there some reason Basil really needed to bring his mom along? Or was it the buffet? By the way, the buffet in Vegas is probably going away and not coming back, given the nature of today's uncertain times. You know, Basil kind of functions as M and Q. He has the gadgets, but there's nobody directly overseeing Austin Powers in his missions. Aside from Basil. Well, look who we got here, Carrie Fisher. This is really cool. It's this stuff about not only does Austin Powers serve a fish out of water, but Dr. Evil as well. Is it Mr. Evil? Dr. Evil. And then they say hello, yeah. For my money, the first Austin Powers film is the best of the bunch. But I think this is in the discussion to be one of those unblemished franchises, whereas they're strong throughout three films, and that's a rarity. I think a lot of people actually prefer two, The Spy That Shagged Me. That one really blew up. There's a big anticipation for that, much in the way how the Matrix sequels, particularly Matrix Reloaded, was like a huge phenomenon because the Matrix had caught on afterward. Like, I saw the Matrix for the first time on HBO. Most people who saw Austin Powers did not see it in theaters. And then this myth grows, and then you put out one of the biggest hit movies of the summer of '99, and their whole campaign was like, if you see one movie this summer, see Star Wars. If you see two movies, see Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. All right, here are some details about Dr. Evil. Details of my life are quite quite inconsequential. Is that what he said? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll stand and give a talk to everybody. Pulling double duty like this, there are not a lot of shots in the movie without Mike Myers, right? And Mike Myers had a pretty good thing going between this and Shrek, except the movie career largely derailed with The Love Guru, which I have not seen all of, only bits and pieces here and there, and it was not pleasant. But he had a small role in Inglourious Bastards, and other than that, I mentioned The Gong Show, he's kind of just been laying low. Received my first scribe at the age of 12. What does that even mean? That'll be the last that we see of Carrie Fisher in the franchise, sorry. Oh, I shagged her. Shagged her rotten. Yeah. Oh, you guys are together now? Do you really want to ruin this, Austin? Yeah. it, Austin Powers does a lot of things to be unlikable, but with the brand of comedy that this offers, I think you can look past that as it's the done in a way to get the laugh, and whatever you do that can reach those laugh goals, meet that quota, deliver, makes worthwhile. Now he has to grow up. You need to adapt, Austin. You're everything to me. Right. But Austin has the same situation with, let's see, was it Felicity Shagwell? Was that her, was that Heather Graham's character's name? I'm trying to recall. In the same, in the next movie, she turns the tables. Yeah, I had to hook up with Fat Bastard. I'm a secret agent. We got the glorious rear projection shots there with the car. And when it's done head on, it was done to be like a in mocking jest of the '60s style you would see in like a Hitchcock film, but from the side there you couldn't really tell so much. Would look worse all video with green screen today, I assure you. How do CDs work? Okay, I just put this on the record player. And yep, that's not what I call music. Volume 2. The Reebok pump was already out of vogue at the time of this movie. And I don't think that any amount of pumping is going to make chalk fly at your face, but I could be mistaken. Drinks a bunch of tab, gets caught up on stuff. He makes a joke here in reference to a flock of seagulls that I'm not sure everybody got. He said something about some seagulls, right? How did he say this? Sometimes I forget you missed the last 30 years. We could soon be approaching a time where more time has passed between Austin Powers and the present than Austin Powers was frozen, come to think about it. This guy was in Showgirls. And look at their costume. Yeah, you definitely look like tourists. Sure. You're switched on. That needs to make a comeback. That is if that was ever really a phrase. Totally diffused the situation there, Austin. Way to go. And here's a comical part where we know these two are not going to fit into the costume of the people who walked in. And they come out and it fits perfectly fine. Having just a little laugh with and also how quickly that's done. The concept of the spy always being able to knock out somebody and wear their attire. There are some deleted scenes that were included on the DVD involving scene coming up here. Huge laughs on this scene, by the way. They're making a slow chase here. There's Michael McDonald from Mad TV. No, you're gonna crush me. Except you can easily get out of the way. You may recall him as Stuart. Look what I can do, right? And then he would do some silly things. Mo Collins was his mom. In the extended scenes, you see like more of his backstory, like after the fact. Hey, so we have a bachelor party coming up for what was his name, Ted or something. Yeah, great guy, Ted. Oh, I just got a call. I got killed by a bulldozer at work. Ah, that's sad. I mean, so maybe there's a concept out there that you could shoot scenes. Not that they specifically would do this, and they certainly would at the time. Shoot scenes just for the deleted scenes. Because it's nice to have a joke there to elaborate on that, but it totally detracts from the movie. You would actually have a whole scene without Mike Myers. All right. I don't really understand the logistics of this drill situation. It would take a drill a very long time to get through the earth. And even if all the volcanoes erupted, would it be that bad? Or would it be worse than we can imagine? Because they talk about, hey, if what is it? Damn it, I've been there. You know, Old Faithful. The park where Old Faithful is. It's not Yosemite, it's... I sound stupid. If that one blows up, that volcano, then you have a, like, world ender type mess of debris. Because the clouds, the particles that get in the sky, you get the massive greenhouse effect, everything dies, blah, blah, whatever, right? I like that chair drifting off all the time. That's cool. So when friend Sweet J Vioca guys, man, you know, he's telling him about his day. Nothing to hide here. I think he makes in reference to Skinamax too. That's how you want to spend your life, huh? Stay in. Yeah, see? Oh, okay. I'm ready to hit the switch. Austin's like, hey, this guy Scott Evil sounds kind of cool. We will be getting some catharsis there with Frau Farbison and why she would save Scott. And wink. I like the throwback attire for the henchmen, security. And having a little jest here at James Bond's villains insisting on him having an elaborate death. Dead. Done. Oh, here comes the zip it. I expect them to die. No, that's in direct reference, paraphrased from Goldfinger. I expect you to die. I don't think it's the cities they're going to melt with the magma. It's the sky is going to be the problem. Every creature deserves a warm meal. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Pinky in the mouth. We have a problem. We weren't able to get those sharks with the lasers. Laser underwater. Can we get the Mythbusters to... suppose you bring back the Mythbusters. I hear there's talks of it. Can we get some sharks with laser beams attached to their heads? And it's so silly because a regular shark also can eat a person. A shark can take care of the job. They are mutated. Ill temper sea bass. Oh no, it's unnecessarily slow. And I don't want to watch it. Just assume it goes to plan. Come on, what's with this guy? He gives this look across to everybody. Give me 5 seconds. I'll come down here. Boom. Blow the brains out. You gotta wonder, what is Scott Evil doing on the side? He sounds like he's O-Dog from Menace to Society, doesn't he? Like, I mean, just willy-nilly murder. Now here's the shushing. Yep, love it. Ship, ship, zip it up. Ship, subtitle, zip it, right? A whole bag of with your name on it. Love it. If those are mutated sea bass, they're a little small. We're in so tight there, you'd think that was like a product placement type shot, like when Garf is eating the chips in Wayne's World. Or was it Wayne World's 2? I think it was the first Wayne's World. It's kind of easy to get those two mixed up. The judo chop. Yeah, look at the way how that wire got all of a sudden much wider when the stunt guys swing. And the music in this movie, like the actiony scenes, they sound exactly like something you would have heard in a spy film or a spy spoof movie. And we got to come up with the punny jokes here. Indeed, yeah. Yeah, mm-hmm. No way to get ahead in life. All right, that's enough. Come on. And lucky for them, that door just opens. We get another good gag here as he tries to turn the cart around. You know, going up ladders, people say things like, don't look down, you get afraid of heights, whatever. Going down ladders requires you to look down. That seems like that's where you're more likely to slip with your foot. I have to become a one-woman man. I can do that for you. Groovy. And they sure found a dress that fits her when they put that on, didn't they? Going up that ladder with mechanical precision too. How did he get this car sideways, just backing it in and out like this? Curious. Project Vulcan. You had to go stop and eat, and we're going to head back to it, uh-huh. You got to always treat James Bond to a meal, don't you? That is a tight fit. We'll even have a gag of, okay, so here is Dr. No style radiation suit. A prop like that could not have been an easy commission. I mean, that it looks unique, that big Vulcan drill, right? Oh, you can't quite do the pinky here, but okay. We'll even have a gag for the radio voice type of guy, right? Where it's like he's in person doing the countdown. And he has stumbled upon the Fembots. Look at the way how that one gets a bit of that running start. Care to have a little fun? Care to have a little fun? They don't sound robotic, but the cadence, sort of harmony of it makes it seem that way. Not just bullets coming out of the jubblies, huh? But you got smoke. A little unnecessary. You could have just shot them. And look at the sped up footage here as they adjust the drill. I'm not convinced that you're supposed to know that was sped up. It's just how slow that was going. They needed to speed it up. Nope, you didn't see that. I'm still standing here proudly. Maybe they don't need to kill him. Just keep him from stopping the drill, right? So, occupy his attention. Margaret Thatcher, does he know who Margaret Thatcher is? I mean, he did a little bit of research, right? She has now gotten into her mom's uniform. Who, by the way, I guarantee you it wouldn't fit between the two of them because Mimi Rogers has a different build, shall we say. You can't resist us. You can't resist me. And here we go. Cut to, oh Christ. What? Why can't I remember the name of this group? I Touch Myself. The music video is actually directed by Michael Bay. Look at that lighter. Intriguing. Now that'd be a hell of a trick if you could throw cigarettes into people's mouths. Or Fembots' mouths. The Divinals, right? Divinals? Divinals. Yeah, that's got to be how you say it. Lead singer of this song, though, passed away a few years back. Hell, it's probably been 10 years now. It always seems like someone died longer ago than you thought. Oh, and they are catching fire, falling apart. Head shaking like Jacob's ladder. I could actually see those effects looking worse now as they would insist on having a CGI model of them doing other crazy crap. Stumbles upon him, and what is going on here? Oh, it seems like what it is, actually. What'd she say when she got that on? Let's lock and load. Cross-mogenation. I do bring that up from time to time. Totally a thing. I believe you. Now get dressed. Yeah. She's cool. There's a bit of an arc to her. There's some growth for Austin Powers. It's not just as simple as maybe it appears. Though it does become simple again for the second movie. And then the third film kind of taps back into that growth for them. Revelations, wrapping things up. Which leads me to think that there's really no... I mean, there's something to do in the sense that if Scott Evil is the villain, but it's not necessary to explore for a fourth film. Just haphazardly shooting while blinking, eyes shut, shooting, yep, causing all kinds of explosions in ways that would not happen. And we're hitting all the 60s Hallmark songs for this, aren't we? Oh, come on. Hit the button. He's right there saying it. Not the most exciting slow motion leap to the abort button. I think they put that in ADR, that now to Dr. Evil. Hey, you gotta feed Mr. Bigglesworth sometime, right? Ooh, Austin Powers and Dr. Evil in the same frame. Why, that's high-tech wizardy, right? For effects shot. Considered to be evil, the free love. Oh, you've become the new evil. Up like squares like you. Yeah, that's what we're billing. And sometimes Mike Myers likes to give these like soliloquies on a subject. You saw this in Wayne's World, where like all of a sudden somebody will be talking about something deeper. Like, okay, Aerosmith visits Wayne's World on SNL, and they're just talking to the band. One of them just starts bringing up like genocide someplace or whatever. Oh, a lot is still here. Hey, can I take my Sega, right, Dad? Was it a Saturn? If it's a Saturn, then yes. What? We made a breakthrough group. I had the group liquidated. Oh, that's unfortunate. Killed off Carrie Fisher. This is an odd movie for an SNL alum in that it's not chock full of other SNL alums in a way. Some cross mogination with Will Ferrell, but those two were not on the same team. You know, they're not castmates together. Number two has a little bit of a cry here. What is the business proposition? And there goes number two, but we won't be seeing the end of him. The judo chop. Now, what is that? An instant knockout every time? Dang, that's a pretty good looking effect there, big boy taking off again. Yep, get up that ladder. Emergency exit. Flip. Yeah, that would right hurt, and that wouldn't help. Kind of makes you wonder who of the henchmen would have survived this. I mean, could Scott and Frau Verbissina have made it? They do, but you don't see it happen. And of course, you see them later in the movies, but there's a bit retconning, a bit of changes done immediately after the first film. Fixed his teeth. Later, he'll when he goes back to the past, he looks in the mirror and his teeth get undone, as though the Austin of the '60s has to have bad teeth. Nice little product placement there for Casio. Now the tables have turned. We're doing the gag with Elizabeth Hurley. You see, she has like a red tape on. Yeah, you can see this red tape on her, which I hadn't. You couldn't pick that up on VHS, but ugh. We still haven't seen Random Task do his thing, really, huh? He can throw a shoe. And the idea is that Odd Job throws the hat. He looks like him. That's very much what they're going for. And we'll be getting that, though. No six-pack abs on Mike Myers. Quickly, they've donned these robes. Good thing, because, I mean, you don't want to give room service a show. Oh, you throw a shoe? Really? So Austin Powers and Vanessa Kensington have gotten married shortly after their escapades. We'll see how that gets undone in the second film. Use the pump. He still insists it's not his. Nice. Making for some payoff. Though, do I want the Mythbusters to test if this could take a guy out? Though, if you hit him on the head without a hat, okay, sure, but oh yeah, I said Uranus. Never seen that big star. What could that be? I wonder. Looks like a James Bond gun barrel, doesn't it? It's freaking freezing in here. People say that still. Mr. Bigglesworth not doing so well. Austin Powers, he's the man for you. And the movie has concluded. I still can't recall what. God damn. I feel stupid not realizing her name. Yeah, we have a little gag during the credits. I think possible each Austin Powers has the during credits gag. This is where we see him as the photographer. But then you have to wonder, is that how he's known in the world? Like, people think the famous photographer Austin Powers is here? Or the spy? And Elizabeth Hurley's really hitting these looks. Okay, come on, Vaughn. You got to remember the names here. What's their name? I'm looking it up. I have failed myself. I am ashamed. I'm gonna feel stupid when I see this. Alright, I typed in the Bengals. I see Manic Monday. What is... Interesting stories. I see a picture of her now. Still looks fine. Susanna Hoffs. Oh my god. Anyways, she is married to the director of this movie, and Jay Roach would also do the Meet the Parents trilogy, though the titles change. And I think recently he did a Trumbo, more going towards a drama. Dinner for Schmucks as well, didn't like that one. And there we go. So did you guys enjoy Austin Powers? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, we got Ming Ting's song here also. Don't really need to go into that whole much. They actually have some good songs they played in these movies. There's Turn on the Telly to the BBC, Daddy Wasn't There. Good stuff. Austin Powers. This is one of my favorite comedies, honestly. Till next time, adios.